Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be discussing foreshadowing in the book that we just finished. One of us is lying. I do want to do a bit of an overview on what foreshadowing is. That way I can reset your memory, kind of bring you back into what it actually means, give you a few examples, and then I'm going to have you transition into looking at different aspects of one of us is lying and tell me why it's foreshadowing, where it's foreshadowing, what is it foreshadowing in our later assignments. So, a short introduction to foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is a literary device that hints at future events. It creates anticipation, allowing readers to build expectations about the plot's direction and outcomes. Now, the purpose of foreshadowing serves to create suspense and build tension within a narrative by hinting at upcoming events. Authors engage readers and encourage them to become active participants in unraveling the story. The methods of foreshadowing. Foreshadowing can be conveyed through various methods, including dialogue, descriptions, and symbolism. Authors can choose subtle hints or more obvious clues depending on the narrative style. And for reader engagement, by incorporating foreshadowing, authors engage readers in the storytelling process. It encourages them to predict future events and promotes a deeper connection with the characters' plots. So moving on to the different types of foreshadowing, we have Chekhov's gun. Chekhov's gun is a principle stating that every element in a story should be necessary. If a gun is introduced in the first act, it must be fired in the second. This method builds anticipation as readers recognize the importance of seemingly minor details. That moves us into prophecy. Prophecy is a literary device where future events are predicted, often adding layers of tension and inevitability to the plot. Classic examples include the oracle's prophecies in Greek tragedies, which foreshadows dire fates for characters. And then we have our symbolic foreshadowing, which we just finished our unit over symbolism, so you should know a little bit about what this is. Symbolic foreshadowing utilizes symbols to hint at future occurrences, enriching the narrative tapestry. An example includes the frequent use of water in literature, symbolizing both cleansing and destruction, often foreshadowing pivotal events. And then we move on to flash forward. A flash forward is a narrative device that presents scenes from the future, disrupting chronological order. This technique creates suspense and intrigue by revealing future events and their implications, effectively changing how the audience perceives earlier narrative elements. Now, for a few examples, we're going to look at foreshadowing in classic literature. But first, I would like you to answer this question for me. Can anybody give me one example of foreshadowing in other books, movies, or TV shows that you have seen? Please discuss with your partner, and we will revene in about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, everyone, let's come back together. Can a group, maybe 2 to 3 groups, share one example of foreshadowing in a book, movie, or TV show that they have watched recently, read, went to the theater for? Yes, that is wonderful. When Emily in A Rose for Emily purchases arsenic, it foreshadows that she is going to be killing the man. That is wonderful. So moving in to our foreshadowing and classic works, we have foreshadowing in Romeo and Juliet. In Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, Romeo expresses a premonition of doom before attending the Capulet party, stating, "I fear too early for my mind misgives some consequence yet hanging in the stars." This foreshadowing sets the stage for the tragic fate that awaits the lovers, emphasizing themes of fate and foreboding. And then we have a bit of foreshadowing in Frankenstein. In Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein dreams of Elizabeth turning into his deceased mother after he creates the monster. This dream foreshadows the impending tragedy and loss, highlighting the destruction consequences of Victor's ambition and the dark relationship between creator and creation. Now we're going to be looking at foreshadowing in modern literature, which you will be a bit more familiarized with. So we have foreshadowing in Harry Potter. In Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry's scar hurting foreshadows deeper connections between him and Voldemort. This subtle hint sets up the unfolding rivalry and reveals the significance of Harry's past and future in the wizarding world. What does this connection unveil? The foreshadowing of Harry's scar exemplifies how small details in a story can have significant ramifications. It not only builds a suspense, but also encourages readers to infer the underlying connections and themes that persist throughout the series. Now, moving on to foreshadowing in the novel that we just finished, foreshadowing in One of Us is Lying. In One of Us is Lying, the gossip app about that serves as an early foreshadowing device. Simon's announcement about releasing secrets foreshadows the unfolding mystery surrounding his death and the hidden secrets of the other characters. This has a central conflict setup. The foreshadowing in One of Us is Lying establishes central conflict and tension among characters by hinting at the deeper connections and secrets that will unravel. The narrative becomes more engaging and compelling readers to piece together clues as they read. Now, the impact of modern foreshadowing. Foreshadowing in modern literature enhances the reader's experience by creating anticipation and encouraging critical thinking. It promotes an interactive reading approach, engaging the audience and predicting outcomes based on subtle narrative cues and themes presented throughout the story. So, if we look more into the analysis of foreshadowing, importance and analysis of foreshadowing, it can build tension and suspense. Foreshadowing builds tension by hinting at future events, creating a sense of anticipation, and raising emotional stakes. This literary technique keeps readers engaged, promoting them to ponder potential outcomes as the narrative unfolds. It engages readers by incorporating foreshadowing. Authors invite readers to actively participate in the storytelling process. This engagement encourages readers to make predictions and connect rules, enhancing this overall investment in the narrative. It also adds depth to the narrative. So, foreshadowing enriches the narrative by embedding deeper meanings and themes within the text. It connects seemingly insignificant details to broader story arcs, allowing readers to recognize the complexity of the plot as it unfolds. Now, analyzing techniques. Recognizing foreshadowing involves identifying repeated phrases, symbols, or motifs that hint at future events. Attention to language and minor detail helps reveal underlying themes and connects the narrator's structure. For our active reading experience, foreshadowing transforms the reading experience from passive to active, encouraging readers to reflect on connections and implications of plot elements. This interaction enhances comprehension and engagement within the story. And for key reflection, foreshadowing not only hints at future events, but also builds a cohesive narrative thread. Understanding its techniques enhances both reading comprehension and appreciation of the text as a whole. And it really shows that just because something may not be a murder mystery, which is what you typically can figure out, adding foreshadowing to a book allows the readers to have that sense of a murder mystery throughout the entire book. It's quite wonderful. So I will have you guys work on this assignment. I have a few multiple choice questions and then an essay. This is not due until Friday. I want you to submit it to our Google Classroom on Friday at the end of class. But please answer these multiple choice questions over One of Us is Lying and do this short essay prompt answering these 3 questions. So you guys have a good rest of your day and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.